Hi there. Welcome to the October edition of The Place to Be Oshkosh. I'm your host, John Neiman with COTS in Oshkosh. As you can tell by our set design, we're into the wonderful event of fall. Pumpkins and gourds and acorns and leaves rustling and all that good stuff. And you keep saying, where did the time go? I don't know. I don't know either. I'm so excited because this is our 14th episode of our show, The Place to Be Oshkosh. The purpose of the show is to highlight events and organizations and volunteer groups in our wonderful community. I'm born and raised here. I love this community. It's Event City, and the people in this community are very giving and very caring. And so that's the purpose of the show, and I'm glad that you can join us. This show is made possible through our wonderful sponsors. So I do have to thank COTS Transitional Housing in Appleton and now in Oshkosh, men's and women's housing, and I am in charge of the housing in Oshkosh for the men. Also, I want to thank the Oshkosh Herald. It's a wonderful community newspaper. If you want to know what's going on and you want to see pictures, read the Oshkosh Herald. Subscribe to it. You can find copies throughout town, but also subscribe to it because it really helps support the paper. And then our wonderful set design is from Brian at UBloom. His garden center is still open in the month of October. It's still a chance for you to get those mums and the kale that turns the different colors in the colder weather. And also just walk into a shop on Witzel and you'll get many ideas on how you can decorate for the upcoming holidays, such as Halloween and Thanksgiving. Of course, Thanksgiving, now I'm talking November. Where can you see us? We're on Oshkosh Media. We're on Life TV on Spectrum. Also, if you search for Oshkosh Media on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and YouTube, you can find Oshkosh Media. You also can find my show, The Place to Be Oshkosh. Also, go to Oshkosh Media's wonderful website, and you can actually get the schedule for either government TV or Life TV. Our show, we're blessed, we air 5 of the 7 days of the week, so you might get sick of seeing my face after a while, but it's great to just get the news out in our community on what's going on in our community. A couple things in this first segment is people have asked me, because COTS has been in our community now since April, and people are learning what we're all about. We're a transitional housing program where our male residents work. We teach them programs to help them get back on track, helping with their credit score, helping with banking, helping with budgeting, helping with organizing. And people ask, what do you need? Well, there are a lot of things that we could use besides people who want to volunteer at COTS. We also could use items too. So pantry items. We have a wonderful kitchen that was refurbished in our building. And some of the men love to cook, and other men love to cook for the men. So we always can use those staple items. If the men don't have to go out and buy it, it's really going to help them with their budget and with saving money. So we always can use milk and eggs and butter and sugar and things like that. We also have groups of people that bring prepared meals in for our men. As I said, all of our men are working, so they can come home and have a meal together in their home. And that's what we call COTS, their home. So if you're interested in any of that, of donating anything or more information, just email me at johnneiman1078@gmail.com or my number 920-279-9873. I also wanted to do a plug for the State Street Center. It's in the old Oshkosh B'gosh building, a beautiful, wonderful building on State Street. That center is supported by the Winnebago County Department of Human Services. And the State Street Center offers mental health and substance use disorder support for adults. They put out a wonderful schedule of events that take place there, from art therapy to fitness with yoga, to nutrition, to music, to meditation. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They also are just open there for people to come in for a cup of coffee and for fellowship. And it's just a great center. Julie right now runs it. She helps us with our downtown care team, in which we go downtown and we help clean up and keep our downtown looking nice. But check it out or give them a call. It's called the State Street Center. Give them a call if you're looking for more information how you can support them. It's great to know more and more about all the wonderful programs and businesses we have in our wonderful community. That's it for my first segment. Stay tuned for our second segment of our October edition, where we'll be talking about the teacher's closet.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Hi, welcome back. This is the second segment of our October edition of The Place to Be Oshkosh. I'm very happy to have a guest with us again. She was on our original show that we had called Helping Hands years ago. And this is Kay Stenerson. You notice I left off your middle name because I wasn't sure. Is it Kenzel?
Kinzel.
Kinzel, there we go. Mm-hmm. Kay Kinzel Stenerson. And she's involved with the Teacher's Closet. And I think in this day and age, with our economy, with supporting teachers and supporting education, this is a worthwhile program. And I'm going to ask Kay, why the Teacher's Closet? How did it start? How did you get involved?
Well, it started as an idea by a woman, Carol Clabundi, and she had heard about it somewhere else and thought it would be a good idea, and she went to the church, Peace Lutheran, and asked them if she could have some space, and they agreed it would be a good idea. And I had heard about it because I had just retired. This was in 2011, and I thought, oh, this is the place where I can do some help, do some good for education and continue in education. And after a couple years, then I became the director, and now I run the Teacher's Closet with my volunteers. We're totally volunteer run. We have no outpay except for a small rent that we pay. And donors have been very good about helping us pay rent. We only use rent money of people who actually designate the money for rent.
And we'll talk about that. On the screen right now is where you're located at Peace Lutheran Church.
Yes.
And it says, and I know we talked about this, you're open Wednesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5:30, but you're also open on some Saturdays.
Yes, we're usually open the third Saturday of the month from 9:30 to 11:30. That changes occasionally depending on when holidays fall. So if the third weekend in March or April is the Easter weekend, then we would switch. Then we may be the week before or after. So.
And I noticed, and we talked about this because I think this is so cool, that it was a student at Oshkosh North who designed your logo, and I love the logo. It's really, really cool.
Yes, I've had in the last 11 years, I've had two students that I have mentored. No, actually three. One from the University of Wisconsin, and she was working with a community project. And then I had two from the communities class at Oshkosh North. And one of those students designed our logo for us.
I think that's really, really cool because you're getting everyone involved, and the Teacher's Closet affects students. So then to have a student design the logo, hopefully with a marker and a pen, I think that the teacher got at the Teacher's Closet. But let's talk about this. I don't even know how do you begin to open the Teacher's Closet? What did you do to get it open?
Well, we started with receiving donations. Companies like 4imprint have been very supportive, giving us items. Private people, retired teachers, when they close down their classrooms, bring us things. We buy a lot of our new supplies. We buy, so we get monetary donations. And we just started with the room and shelves and filled them up, and teachers started coming. Now we have It's the size of our room is about 2 classrooms full. It's floor to ceiling, filled with items, and we do have things stored. My husband and I have a storage unit, which was for our rental properties, but it's pretty much filled with teacher closet stuff. So we just see what is needed. We ask teachers what kinds of things they need for the classrooms or their students. One of our main goals is to reach the kids who can't afford the supplies that they need. So they get that school supply list.
Right.
And, well, I went through the school supply list. I took a store, went and looked at the list, and I went around in that particular store and added up the amount. A 4th grader was spending about $89 for the supplies on that list, and a kindergartner, it was like $108.
Yes. I had my granddaughter and my niece's daughter both are going to kindergarten. They said it was $120.
Right. So, a family with more than one child can't afford to. That's not covering clothing or whatever. That's just the supplies, no fees, nothing like that. So we're trying to reach those kids also. So we just kind of rely on teachers. What do we need? For instance, a teacher told us a few years back that many of the immigrant kids didn't come to school with socks. And when it got cold out, they needed socks. So we carry socks now. We have hats, mittens, and I had some wonderful ladies knit probably over 150 hats for us.
Oh my gosh.
So I have some people doing things like that.
Which the school's always said, because we used to do a drive at Aurora, hat, mitten, scarf drive, and people would always say, why are you doing it after Christmas? Because the teachers told us that the kids lose all their stuff, and by the time they come back, they don't have it. So I think that's a great addition, to have.
Right. And that is a good point about the after Christmas, because right now there's a lot of school supply sales, and today's today they're going back to school. They got everything with them. They have school supplies, whatever. But by the time January comes around, those things are used up or they're gone, and then we see teachers actually coming more to the teacher's closet to pick up things than they do in October and November, because that's when things like right after Christmas we really get an onslaught of people. And the public doesn't, we kind of lose interest to the public by that time, because they're thinking back to school, I'll pick up some school supplies, I'll bring them to the teacher's closet, how about the teachers? But by the time later in the year comes around, there's not sales and things on the supplies
and
anymore.
It's not on your mind. So now, are these teachers?
Yes, these are teachers that came our first week that we were open. We were open 2 full days in September, just before school started. One day was just for brand new teachers. This photo is actually brand new teachers to the district. We only allowed them to come for the first day so that they could set up their classrooms and so forth and have things available. So these are all
You are right,
new
too.
teachers.
It's floor to ceiling.
Oh, yes.
With what you have.
Oh, yes. We have so many things I couldn't even rattle off exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
We buy a lot of new supplies, markers, colored pencils, glue sticks, all of that kind of thing. But then there is a lot of things that are donated that are secondhand but in still good condition. And I've heard a lot of teachers really think how wonderful that is, because they're getting things from veterans who now are retired, or maybe they changed a class grade or something, and they bring their things in. It's kind of a clearinghouse for that stuff rather than it going like in the garbage. So, they're amazed at what they find there. Yeah, this is a gal that was very happy. You notice all the things she's taking.
Oh my gosh, especially because even looking at those baskets,
Yep.
those baskets are expensive.
Oh, yes. Yep.
And here to be able not to spend your own, because let's face it, everybody does in their job, teachers more, but people will spend their own money on things. And if you can get something where you can spend your money somewhere else, then that's amazing. And you're right, her smile says it all, that she's very excited.
And that is how they go out. I mean, with lots of bags of stuff. Occasionally someone comes in and just jumps in and gets a couple little things they need, but this is how they usually leave, with lots of bags of stuff. And they're so thrilled to have it and appreciative. My volunteers love being there. I'm usually not there when they're open. I'm usually working behind the scenes, stocking, buying, ordering, and doing that. So I'm not always there when people come in, but they love it. They just love to hear.
See, and I would think that this would be a fulfilling job, because look at the smiling faces. They have what they need, but then to be the one that's checking them out and helping them with stuff.
Yeah, they love that.
That is truly amazing. Oh, those pictures just make your day, to have.
Yeah, and that's everybody. We had our first day, we had 52 brand new to the area schools. 52 people came the first day. The next day, anyone could come who'd been there before or whatever, and we had 54 that day. So, yeah.
How do they find out about this, Kay? I know you have a great Facebook page.
Yes.
Because I get your notices on Facebook all of the time. And I think the one neat thing that you do is if you have a specialty item, you put it on there and saying, if you're interested in this. So do you get donations of globes and...
Yeah. Well, sometimes I get objects that are really too large to store in our room. For example, some file cabinets, a rug, like a classroom rug.
I saw that one, yep.
Okay, those kinds of things. So what we've been doing with those is have the person who has those items take photos of them, and then we post them on Facebook, and then I'm kind of the intermediary connecting those two people together, that this is available, and then I say this is the person you can get that from.
That is so smart.
That works
I was
really
wondering
well.
about that because I saw the rug and it was big.
Yeah.
That is really, really smart.
Because I don't have space for bigger items like that.
And are there items that teachers are looking for? I know that you said that you buy school supplies. Are there other items that they're looking for that you go out to get? What would those be?
Well, we always have done special requests kind of things, but last year we actually formed a committee for special requests. So we have a form that the committee came up with, and it's just asking what they're going to use it for, how many students will be impacted, what do they think the cost is, where would they like us to go to find it, maybe a picture of what it is they're looking for. And then they submit that to the committee, and then the committee decides. And we have a fund, a special request fund, that people are donating to just particularly that. So we have some money set aside that is just for that.
Okay, and speaking of money, because we have to talk about money, because this is volunteer driven and it's donations, but number one, you are paying rent. Peace Lutheran is very, very good to you guys, but you are paying rent.
Yes.
And then number two, you have to buy new supplies. I mean,
Right.
you can buy, because I would do that if I'm that way. If I see a sale on glue sticks, I'll buy as many of them, but then when you need them, they're dried out. So you have to buy certain items new or the special request. So let's talk about the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation. You have a special fund set up there.
Yes, we just joined that community, the Oshkosh Community Area Foundation, in July. We have a designated fund with them now, and so donations can go through that designated fund if they would, if people would like. It's a way for us to also grow our money that we have, rather than it just sitting in a bank account waiting to get spent.
Right.
Because interest on that is like 10 cents a month. Right,
Yep.
so our money will grow. And we also get some of their help with fundraising or
Right.
getting the message out.
Right. And I was telling Kay, I think that is such a great idea because in my world that I live in, pastors and teachers are the worst people to buy things for. Because everybody thinks pastors need ties, and everyone thinks teachers need a coffee mug. And in order to, if you want to honor a teacher or a friend, why not give money to the community foundation, to the Teachers Closet in honor of them? They would love it.
That's an excellent idea. We have, before this, always had kind of we call it honoring an apple. And
Yep.
people donate in the name of some teacher that they had in the past that they really liked. And then we honor that person in our newsletter. And we also have a board at the Teacher's Closet with those apples on it. It's been very interesting because then I also send a notice to those teachers that they have been honored, and then they become some of our best supporters too.
And so we're talking to our audience today. We're saying if you're looking for a unique gift idea or to support the Teachers Closet, go through the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation. Hello, Carlene. I'm sure you're involved with that. But also, if you're looking for another way to support them, they do pay rent to Peace Lutheran. So if you want to support them by sending a donation in to help with the rent, you can do that. Where should they send it, Kay?
They should send it to the Teacher's Closet, 240 West 9th Ave, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 54902. We have our own mailbox there outside. So,
Okay.
Right.
So that's another way. And then also, and I know what you mean, a friend of ours passed away and she was a teacher and the kids were going through her house. She had one whole room dedicated with supplies and all that teaching stuff. And to donate it somewhere where somebody's going to use it is a great
Yes.
blessing. So you will take
Yes.
donations. So if somebody has something they want to donate, should they call you first?
Yes, we actually, COVID changed a little bit of the way we did some things, of course. So we have actual donation days now that we advertise on Facebook.
Oh, perfect.
And our last one, there'll be one this month. The date isn't decided exactly yet because I have to coordinate with the church.
Okay.
You know, that there's not a funeral or something. And so we have those days, and I have volunteers there. People can drive up to the circular drive. Volunteers will help them carry the stuff in from their cars, and then we kind of sort it. What we can put in the room right away, we do, or whatever. If we
Okay.
have to fix things up, we do that, whatever.
Now, I think that's a great idea instead of always having to have someone, because your hours vary. You have your hours and then your Saturday, and then it could end up being like other stores where people just drop things off and leave them outside.
We did have that issue before COVID. We allowed people to donate when we were open. And I mean, the church hallway became kind of a drop-off point. And of course, we're not there all the time, so that.
I love the organized way that you're doing it. And what I really love about the Teacher's Closet, and you've been in business since?
This is, we're in our 12th season.
12th season. It means a lot to me because I have children who are teachers or who work in the school district, and to know that they have a place to go to get items, to get idea. They're not spending their own money, because they will. Good teachers like you will do anything for the kids and for the classroom.
Yep.
And to have this avenue, the Teacher's Closet, I think is totally amazing, and it's something that our community can support. It's at Peace Lutheran. There's so many ways that you can give back. What's your greatest need right now?
Money. Because that's buying the kind of supplies that need to be renewed. And I do spend on average, I'd say $1,500 to $2,000 a month.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have generous donors.
Yes.
Wow. I just think when you hear those numbers, I thought you were going to say per year. That's how naive. Because you're supporting Are you supporting all the teachers in
We support
Oshkosh?
the Winnebago pretty much area. So any teacher that lives in that area, even though they may teach outside of that area, is welcome to come. Any teacher that teaches within that area is welcome to come, even though they may live outside the area.
Wow.
Okay, it's because my donors are people from this area supporting our community. So those are the teachers we support.
And I understand that too, because working at other places, if a donor is giving to your city or county, that's where they want the money.
Right.
They want the money to stay. And here, again, giving to the teacher's closet, there's nothing taken off the top for administrative fees and all this other stuff. If you're giving your money to Kay and her group of volunteers to the teacher's closet, please know that it's going to buy items that all of our teachers need and all of our students need. And I think that's really important. So again, the teacher's closet. Kay, is that your number or is that the teacher's closet?
We actually do not have a number. That is my landline.
Okay.
So you will be getting me if you call that.
So call 920-426-5480. If you're in, this program has brought up so many different points. If you're interested in volunteering at the teacher's closet, if you're interested in donating supplies for the teacher's closet, if you're interested in donating money to the special fund at the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, or if you're interested in giving money directly to the teacher's closet, I think we all have those people in our lives, either our parents or our grandparents or that uncle or aunt. They're so hard to buy for. Why not give them a certificate and give money in their name to the teacher's closet? Because you're helping further education and growth, and you're making a lot of teachers happy.
We do receive quite a few memorial type donations. People who have been teachers. In fact, last month we received one from the Oshkosh Corvette Club for someone in their group that had passed away. So yes, we do.
And you do a very good job. I encourage you to go to Facebook, because befriend them and like them, and then you'll get all the updates on what's going on. But again, this is a group that's volunteer driven to help out with a need that is so important, especially in our day and age where the kids were not in school because of COVID, and now they're back in school. And as you were talking about supplies,
we did work during COVID. We couldn't have our store and people come in. So we set up tables at the free lunch giveaways at all the public schools. And a volunteer, we put supplies out on the tables, and the volunteers sat back from the table, and kids who came with families or parents who came to pick up food could come and get school supplies.
Wow.
So while they were schooling at home,
that's cool.
They could.
We're gonna
get
have you back,
supplies.
Kay, because our time
Okay,
time is up. But we can have her back later on and find out what else they need. But thank you. I'm John Neiman with COTS in Oshkosh. I'm so glad that you visited us at the Place to Be Oshkosh. Thank you very much. My information is at the end of the screen if you want to get hold of me, if you want to be a guest on our show, or if you want to donate to the Teacher's Closet. Truly, we appreciate everything. This is Event City. This is Oshkosh, and we're proud to be born and raised here. And you guys have a wonderful month of October.